Be sure to support the n.W.bro podcast by hitting the like button on this video, as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/n.w.bro podcast and on Twitter, username n.w.bro podcast. Thank you for your support.
Hey everybody, this is Ian.
And I'm Rhett.
And this is the n.w.bro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back to another edition of the n.w.bro Wrestling Podcast, being recorded here on May 10th, 2017. Ian, it is very good to have you back, my friend.
I was gone?
You were gone last week. I had to do the whole thing solo.
No one noticed.
Covered four different events. Covered Okada and Omega rematch. Covered the Payback pay-per-view. Covered Raw and Smackdown all by myself.
I don't think anybody noticed.
Covered it all in like 45 minutes.
I don't think anybody noticed.
Probably not, because this is the first episode I didn't just openly promote like in the usual places where I promote them.
Yeah.
So yeah, no one probably listened to it. Well, I take that back. We got some decent amount of views on YouTube for it and some likes. So.
I'm just saying that like I just have such a small part that like no one just notices I'm gone.
Well, I see where you're coming from, but I did bring up several times that I was by myself and you were not there.
That's true.
Which, I mean, that might have been a surprise to some people. They might have been like, there was
when
a
was
second
there ever
person
somebody
here to
here?
begin with.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yes, the two brothers are back together this week for the podcast as promised. Kind of running a bit tight on time, so we might not go as in depth on things tonight as we usually do.
Well, to be real, we've only got those two shows to review tonight, and
should go by pretty quick.
They were kind of lackluster anyway. So
well. I thought Raw was decent enough. It's, again, my biggest problem with Raw is that it's 3 hours. If this was a 2-hour show, I thought Raw would have been really good to watch, really fun. And then SmackDown, really didn't catch the whole thing in its full, but, I mean, just kind of bits and pieces here and there, you know, enough to have an opinion about the episode. But I thought SmackDown was decent enough. So, I thought actually they were both better than last week. Maybe. Or was it, which week was it? Was it last week or the week before where I said I just wasn't impressed with either episode?
I don't remember.
It was the week before.
Sure, I was about to say, yeah.
I was with you,
I wasn't
yeah.
here last week,
So, yeah, I mean, I thought they were both decent enough. So, without further ado, we'll just go ahead and get kicked off with Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Nitro.
Yes, WCW Nitro 2017. So, Raw kicks off with Dean Ambrose coming out to the ring, announcing that he has been informed by Kurt Angle, who was not there because they're in London. I guess Kurt Angle can't.
He's too American.
Yeah, he's way too American.
He's too American to go to
Even
London.
though he's wrestled in WCPW recently. Anyway, so Kurt Angle's not there. Gets a phone call, or he calls Dean Ambrose and tells him he's going to be the general manager for Raw this night. So he gets interrupted by The Miz, who says, "Hold up. I just got through talking to Stephanie, and she made me co-general manager." So they're both general manager. Scroll down a little bit. We got notes. We're looking at notes. So, what played? Oh, okay. So this, so Dean Ambrose used his co-general manager powers to set up a match. Well, hold on. Before we did that, Braun Strowman came out, had his arm in a sling. So he's selling that injury from Roman Reigns, and it says that
injury from Roman Reigns, injury from himself.
Well, injury sustained during his scuffle with with Roman Reigns.
I'm not done with you yet.
So, says he's when he gets healed up, he's gonna be back for Roman Reigns, and then after he takes care of Roman Reigns, he wants Brock Lesnar, which he gets interrupted by Kalisto, who says, "I'm not done with you."
I'm not done with you.
No, Kalisto said that to Braun Strowman.
I know, but
oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just kind
as if Kalisto,
it's just a running thing, I guess.
I just love it how Kalisto makes it sound like, you know, oh, you think you've got enough for me so far? What do you see what I got in store for you next? I mean, he beat him in a dumpster match and then proceeded to get
I was about to say, like, he's like, do you remember what happened at our dumpster match? And I'm like, I'm sure he does. Yeah, you won, but then you went to the hospital.
Yes, then you got killed. like literally borderline murdered from Braun Strowman. I mean, you were put in a dumpster and shoved off the stage. So, yeah, no. But, you know, good to see you back. It looks like you got over that injury pretty quick. So Braun goes on. He says, you know, I can beat you. I got one arm in a sling, but I can beat you with one arm. But you're lucky I'm injured because, you know, otherwise I'd teach you a lesson. So Dean Ambrose goes ahead and sets up a match between Braun Strowman and Kalisto later in that night. And, Braun saying, you heard me, right? I told you I'm injured. And Dean's like, yeah, I heard you. You said you could beat him with one arm, so we're going to see how that goes. So he sets that up. And he also sets up next Finn Balor versus The Miz. So we then go into Finn Balor. Awesome. We then go into Finn Balor versus The Miz. Decent enough match. It gets kind of crazy towards the end of it because The Miz claims that The Miz claims that Finn Balor should have been disqualified. I can't remember why should have been disqualified.
He The Miz shoved Balor into the ref, but the ref didn't Maurice was distracting the ref, and then Miz shoved Balor into the ref and is like, while I'm general manager, no one puts their hands on the ref, so disqualify him. So that's why he got disqualified.
Okay, that's right.
And
so
then
bell rings.
Yeah. So the bell rings. The Miz technically wins by disqualification, but then Ambrose comes back and he's just like, "We ain't having it like that. No disqualification. Start the match over." So round two.
And also bans Maurice from ringside.
Yeah.
So
and then round two is just him getting coup de grace and Miz getting coup de grace and Balor picking up the win.
Yep.
So
you got a voided out disqualification win for The Miz, and then Balor picks up the win legitimately. So, good match for The Miz going into this Intercontinental Championship match with Dean Ambrose later on down the road. But then again, Finn Balor did eat the pinfall from The Miz last week during a triple threat.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a balanced out payback type thing. And it just shows Dean Ambrose taking full advantage of his co-general manager powers.
Yeah.
So then we move on to backstage with Alexa Bliss, and Nia Jax approaches her and asks, last week whenever Alexa was busy running down everyone else, she actually had some pretty decent things to say about Nia Jax, and basically just asked if she meant those. And Bliss is, she's like, oh yeah, of course I meant that, which obviously, by the way she did it, she didn't. But Nia Jax is a big
monster,
a big monster, so she's going to choose her words carefully here. And Nia said, okay, well, because if you said that, then, I might be on your side for some things, but I also want to be next up in line for that championship belt. Bliss says, it's not up to me, it's up to Kurt Angle, I have to talk to him. And she's like, okay, well, until then, looks like you got yourself a new best friend. And Bliss is like, yeah, I guess I do. Kind of smirks, has a little smirk on it, so a little bit of a team to be truffled with here between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. So that they didn't go out to their match, where Alexa Bliss is taking on Mickie James in singles competition, but Alexa is accompanied by Nia Jax and Mickie James is accompanied by Bayley. So this match was pretty sloppy.
Yeah. In fact, probably the sloppiest part because of the match, I was watching it with a friend, and that Thez press that Mickie James hits on Alexa, I even said out loud when that happened, I was like, that was one of the sloppiest Thez presses I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was more of a spear and then punches.
Yeah, it was a little weak. I really hope Mickie James kind of picks it up a little bit, because she's been kind of sloppy since she's been back. And I love Mickie James. She's one of my favorites from back in the day. And Alexa Bliss is fantastic. I mean, she's great on the mic, great in the ring. But one person can only do so much in one match, and Mickie James has been a little bit sloppy here and there, but I mean, she's talented and she's got it in her. I think she can kind of work. I don't want to say work off that ring rust, because she's been wrestling just even before WWE, but she's not been quite on point since she's been back. So
yeah,
kind of hoping they work that out. Wasn't there a little bit of a scuffle between Bayley and Nia or something after the match? Let's see.
Yeah, because Bliss started attacking Mickie James after the match, and then Bayley pulled her off, and Bliss gets up and run, and then Nia Jax gets in the ring and beats the fuck out of Mickie James.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's not really worth talking about. Okay, next up, tell of the tape between Kalisto and Braun Strowman.
Why was there a tell of the tape?
I guess to show you just how one-sided this shit is, because, my God, look at these numbers. Okay, height, Braun Strowman 6'8", Kalisto 5'6". Weight, Braun Strowman 385, Kalisto 170. He's literally twice. Neck, Who cares? Biceps, 23 inches, Braun Strowman, 16 inches for Kalisto. Signature move, Braun Strowman power slam, Kalisto, Salida. How do you say his name?
Salida del Sol.
Del Sol. Okay. So yeah, that's. If this was an actual like MMA fight or something, I mean, you just would have no hope for Kalisto here.
And I like how to just like put things into perspective. Go back up a second.
Okay.
How to put things into perspective. Like, y'all can't see this picture, but if y'all saw Raw, y'all saw that tail of the tape. Normally on stuff like this, they will center both people. To like they'll put both superstars centered in the graphic, but they didn't do that with this one. Just to, I guess, show the height difference between Kalisto and Braun. Because Braun is centered, whereas
he's literally
Kalisto,
taking up his whole like half of the picture. Kalisto goes halfway up the picture. So yeah, it's just. I mean, this is clearly like enlarged because you sitting there looking at it.
Yeah,
this is not accurate.
Yeah,
but they make it look like it's literally David versus Goliath.
Exactly,
pretty much. So. There's a backstage segment with Samoa Joe cutting a really good promo. You kind of tend to forget how good Samoa Joe is at cutting promos, but he is dishing out a pretty good promo about what he's going to do to Seth Rollins. And of course, he gets attacked by Seth Rollins backstage. They have a little bit of a backstage brawl. They get broke up by the referees, and then we get moved on to Braun Strowman versus Kalisto. Now, I don't think I watched. Oh no, I didn't see this match. But this gets interrupted by Roman Reigns, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a no contest. Roman Reigns comes out, still has his arm bandaged up like it was at Payback. And this is a pretty good little beating to Strowman, right?
Yeah.
Got a chair and everything, just beating the shit out of him. This is... I've heard that Braun Strowman's legitimately injured.
Hurt.
Did he get injured in this angle, or was this an angle they used?
I think he might have already been hurt, and this was their
write-off.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's supposed to be out for 6 to 8 weeks or something like that?
Yeah, which sucks because that just, in my opinion, makes Reigns just look even more powerful.
Yeah.
Like he got brutalated like he did at the end of that pay-per-view match, and then he comes out and puts Braun out for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it does make Roman Reigns look even more... I mean... Hopefully they'll kind of stick with what the theory is right now, and that Braun Strowman will still win this feud and move on to Brock Lesnar. I mean, because Reigns is going to get, if rumors stay true, Reigns is going to get his shot at Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Yeah. So until that happens, we can't stop that. But until that happens, let's do some other stuff in between. Give Braun Strowman a shot at the belt. Let him pick up a win over Roman Reigns. Move on to Brock Lesnar. We've already confirmed that Lesnar's going to confirm his. What's the word? Defend his title at Great Balls of Fire, the most anticipated summer pay-per-view from the Raw brand. I would have to think that's going to be against Braun Strowman. It can't be against Reigns. They're not going to do Reigns now and then do him later again at WrestleMania. I mean, they could, no offense, but surely to God that's not going to be the case. So, go ahead and give Braun Strowman a win now when he comes back, which the next pay-per-view for Raw is Extreme Rules, right?
Yes.
And then it's Great Balls of Fire. So Braun should be back by Great Balls of Fire.
GBF.
I hate saying that fucking name, dude. That's a terrible fucking pay-per-view.
I was going to call it GBF.
GBF?
GBF.
I'm going to call it Great Balls of Fire.
GBOF.
So, anyway.
Yeah, so after that match, though, we get told that Rollins and Samoa Joe are going to fight at the end of the show.
Which is a pay-per-view level match that they're having on Raw.
Yeah, but I'm
granted,
okay with
it didn't end like a pay-per-view level match, but it's still...
But, then we get a backstage segment with Goldust and R-Truth, and it's just pretty much Goldust is being like, yo, Angle told us last week that our win-loss ratio was not good enough, and he's right, and we need to get our shit together and be legit and try to get us some tag team gold, because we've had championships, but never together,
like individually.
And I'll be honest, this put me on team Golden Truth, like for the tag team turmoil match. I was rooting for him. We'll see who wins in just a minute.
But I would have put the two face teams against each other.
Yeah,
guess we should have known better.
But I mean,
and Sheamus and Cesaro is being booked pretty hard right now. So,
but I mean, I was pretty hyped for him. But
interesting thing about that is, Angle told him their win-loss record's not good enough. I think Dave Meltzer himself has somewhere recently mentioned that their win-loss record's actually pretty good. I can't remember what the numbers are, but it's not bad. Definitely not bad enough for Angle to be like, you guys, y'all's record sucks. You can't contend for these titles. It's supposed to be pretty good records. I don't know if he's counting house shows or what, but because it seemed like the numbers I heard were a little bit more a little too much to believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, according to him, they're actually a pretty good win-loss record. So I don't know. TV's a whole different monster.
Yeah.
So we then pretty much move on to the tag team turmoil match to determine a number one contender for the Hardys Raw Tag Team Championships. The match starts off with Enzo and Cass versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Do 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 do. Sheamus and Cesaro. Do 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 do. Sheamus. Have you not heard this jingle? Have you heard this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I still don't understand why you're doing it.
Oh, I thought it was like their song. I thought it was like their unofficial fan.
I mean, I feel you, but why are you doing it?
Because it's Sheamus and Cesaro. They're on TV right now, like in this segment.
Anyways, so yeah, they start out the match, and you know what? I actually had to go for a little bit, and I come back just in time to see Cesaro just stomping a mud hole in Enzo.
Oh yeah, we're back to old fashioned Enzo and Cass.
I had to walk out because I was like, you know, I'll be back in time to see most of this match. So I didn't see the very beginning of it, but as soon as I walked back in and look at the TV, Cesaro was just stomping a mud hole.
Dude, and I gave them a little bit of praise last week on the podcast because they picked up the win against the club at Payback, and you know, and Enzo was the one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Enzo picked up the pin, right? At Payback?
I think so. I don't remember.
Either way, they won, which is the first time we've seen that in a while. And I gave him a little bit of praise, and then we're right back to Enzo getting his ass whooped and eating the pin, while Cass is being distracted elsewhere, or he's out because he's hurt or whatever. So yes,
Enzo and Cass are the first eliminated.
Sheamus and Cesaro move on. They now brings out Heath Slater and Rhino, which I think is their debut on Raw, really, like in-ring debut.
Match debut, yeah, I believe so. And they actually put up a pretty good little thing for a minute there. I don't think Rhino got to ever get in, actually. I don't think he ever tagged in, did he?
The match started outside the ring,
yeah.
as Slater and Rhino were coming down the ramp. They get attacked by Sheamus and Cesaro. And now that you mention it, I don't know if I remember Rhino being...
I don't think he ever gets tagged in.
No, I don't think he gets tagged in. So it's just literally both of them against Slater.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Slater... I like Heath Slater.
I like him a lot better now than I used to.
Yeah.
Especially with Rhino. Yeah. Their little tag team run with the SmackDown Championship was garbage for the most part, but I mean, them winning
cute.
It,
you know,
when they won it, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
They just had a kind of a bad run with it.
But
and Rhino's still, you know, somewhat relevant after, God, it feels like 20 years or so, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But, so, yeah, Heath Slater gets pinned. Sheamus and Cesaro move on to the next round, which is the club. Anderson and Gallows. Again, just decent, you know,
kind of a whatever match.
I actually want to backtrack real quick, because we're talking about the club real quick. Going back to Finn Balor and The Miz real quick for just I know we're backtracking pretty heavy, but
that's fine.
Finn doing a lot of two sweets, a lot more here lately. He did it coming down the ring. Coming down to the ramp. He did it to some fans.
Oh, I didn't see his entrance.
And then after the match, he did.
I missed that. I didn't actually see either one of
So
those.
a lot of two sweets from Finn. So that's
interesting because we've seen them during house shows and stuff that's not on canon television.
Yeah,
but I haven't really seen them do it on. The only time I've seen it on TV or even get close is that pay-per-view last year where Styles and the club reunited and they gave two sweets, and then they saw Finn walk by and they tried to give him one. He just kept walking.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird seeing him do it, but I mean it's kind of cool. But anyways, back onto subject here.
On track.
Anderson and Gallows versus Sheamus Cesaro, third round of the tag team turmoil. It was alright. It's Anderson and Gallows kind of getting buried, but whatever.
Yeah. So much for Anderson Gallows push. I mean, Sheamus and Cesaro are the villain tag team right now on Raw, and they eliminate the club and move on to the next tag
final
team.
round.
Yes.
Final round, which is Sheamus Cesaro versus the Golden Truth.
The Golden Truth. It is finally Golden Truth's time to shine and become the number one contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Did this happen, Ian?
No.
No, it did not.
It did not happen.
It did not happen at all.
I mean, again, decent little tag team action between the two teams, but it ended up being kind of
ended up as you should expect it to. So Sheamus and Cesaro with the full tag team turmoil sweep from start to finish. beat all the tag teams. They are still your number one contenders for the Hardys Tag Team Championship.
Speaking of, as soon as the match is over, Hardys come out and start making their way to the ring, and they are ready to throw down. Like, you can tell they are coming out to fight, and the whole time Matt's doing,
still not broken, not broken, but a lot more of the delete in the past couple of weeks. A lot more of the delete signal. I don't know what you'd say, but a lot more of that going on.
And Sheamus and Cesaro
just bail.
Retreat.
They bail
with
like Hills would. They just bail out. So yeah, building up that feud against Sheamus and Cesaro and the Hardy Boys, which right now too early to make predictions, but I'm favoring the Sheamus and Cesaro for the.
I think take that gold.
Yeah,
we'll see. All right, so then we come back. Did we have a commercial break? Yeah, we had a commercial break, and then after the commercial, we come back for Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe. Seth comes on.
Not their best match. They could do better.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, actually, it was kind of a boring match.
To be honest, I missed a little bit of this match. So
yeah, the match itself was kind of boring, and it ended whenever Joe had Rollins in the corner, and he just wouldn't let up, and the ref kept warning them, back up, and he just kept going. So the ref finally disqualified Joe, and Rollins picks up the win, but Joe continues to beat on him a little bit, and just really lay into Rollins. So yeah, this feud's definitely far from over.
Applies the Coquina clutch.
Yeah, whatever. I can't remember what it's called. So yeah, just Seth Rollins wins, but Joe basically gets the moral victory here. So then we move on to next week on Raw. Oh, The Miz is taking on Dean Ambrose next week for the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
I did not know that was next week.
Yeah, that's happening.
I thought they'd wait till Extreme Rules.
Nah, man.
They'll probably still have it at Extreme Rules.
Probably.
It'll probably be like a DQ next week or something.
Or maybe Miz wins and Dean has his rematch.
That's stupid. Could happen, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, it is stupid.
Happened with the U.S. Championship. Yeah. Jericho was champion for 2 days.
Yeah.
So, who knows? But Miz did set up.
Just real quick, did Jericho also, lose the heavyweight championship once?
In the same night.
Within 24 hours.
Matter of fact, it was so short that it's not even recognized as a official reign. Because, he got the pin on Triple H a long time ago to win the World Heavyweight Championship. But Earl Hebner did a fast count. And Triple H pretty much bullied Earl Hebner to reverse the decision. And so they came back out and... I can't remember if they had a rematch and Triple H picked it up.
I think they had another match.
Or just continued the match, rather. Yeah.
So
he had it for a few minutes.
Wow.
But it's not recognized as one of
the I'm just saying he's used to losing his title quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, so they announced that match is next week for the Intercontinental Championship, and then we come back from a commercial to see a cruiserweight match between Gentleman Jack and TJ Perkins.
I didn't watch this match.
You didn't watch it? I watched a little bit of it. It was
I'm not feeling the cruiserweight matches on Raw.
I don't feel the cruiserweight matches either. I don't know, man. They need to redo the cruiserweights.
Something. Because I like the people involved.
I like the people involved to an extent, but even I watched a video not too long ago that was kind of discussing this, and they were even back when WCW was heavy into their cruiserweight thing, they still had superstars who weren't normally in the cruiserweight division come and compete in it every now and then.
Yeah,
and there are superstars in the WWE who aren't part of the cruiserweight division that could compete in the cruiserweight division.
Yeah,
like Kalisto and people like that, and then just smaller people smaller heavyweights, could still squeeze their way in.
Just like I've said before, they just need to mix it up a little bit. Not just have strict cruiserweight matches, just, kind of mixed up like WCW did.
See, I'm even cool with them keeping 205 live.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But like you said, if they're going to have a match on, a cruiserweight match during the show, don't change the rope.
Just keep it raw.
Have it be Raw and have it be a match.
Right.
So you can even still say it's a cruiserweight match.
Yeah, you can do all that. You don't have to do the aesthetic.
It's Raw.
Like I said, again, I haven't been to a live show since they started doing this, but I just feel like that takes so much out of the crowd.
Yeah.
In between, watching them break that ring, not break it down, but change it out, and then change it back out after the match, and then just change the aesthetic of the whole show before and after one match. But anyway, so TJP, formerly known as TJ Perkins, picks up a win against Gentleman Jack, and while Jack is distracted, TJP attacks him and applies a knee bar to his leg. Aries runs in, makes the save, and then but TJP manages to escape, and that's your cruiserweight action for the night.
Yeah.
This is another match I didn't watch because I could care less. Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks.
We knew where this was going.
Sasha Banks wins. Moving on.
Yeah.
Now we have our main event of Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose, set up by The Miz earlier in the night. This is not for the Intercontinental Championship, but it is a singles competition between Wyatt and Ambrose.
Why are Wyatt and Miz like kind of cool?
This is weird. What they're doing with Wyatt and Finn Balor, for that matter, is weird. They've more or less confirmed that they're going to be in a feud together, but it's still...
It's like a loose feud.
Why Bray Wyatt right here? Yeah. Why not pick somebody else? Like,
well, I mean, to be fair, I understand why Bray Wyatt's here to an extent, because they are doing the feud between Bray and Finn, and since Miz fought Finn, Dean gets Bray. You see what I'm saying? They're kind of combining the two feuds and making those the two people who are feuding fight the other two people who are feuding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, it still doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why?
This was a mediocre match at best. Yeah, it wasn't that great. But Bray Wyatt picks up the win after Miz
hits him with the title. He hits Ambrose with the title.
Yeah, ref is distracted. Miz hits Ambrose with the title. Or was it a no DQ match?
No, he was distracted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Miz hits Ambrose with his own Intercontinental title. Bray Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail and picks up the win against Dean Ambrose. And that's your Monday Night Raw. So, could have been bad. I mean, it wasn't a terrible show in my opinion, but it has been a little bit lackluster here lately. Since WrestleMania, the shows have been not that great.
The week like right after WrestleMania was good, but since then.
So I'm really hoping Raw kind of just picks it up. Now SmackDown, on the other hand, like I said, I actually really mostly enjoyed this show, even though I didn't get to see it from start to finish. I just kind of watched in bits and pieces here and there. But SmackDown opens up with a lot of people in this first segment. You got,
I think 6 and all.
Yeah, like Orton opens up saying that he didn't lose at Payback because of Bray Wyatt, or he sure as hell didn't lose because of the refrigerator. He lost because Jinder Mahal interfered, and that he's going to retain his title against Jinder Mahal at Backlash. Jinder Mahal interrupts, joined by the Singh brothers, formerly known as the Bollywood Boys, now the Singh brothers. Shows off some of the promotional pictures he got taken with the WWE Championship. And did you see any of these pictures?
Yeah, I've seen them.
He looks pretty good with the championship. I told you I'm pulling for Mahal here, and Orton even kind of acts like, I don't know, something about the way he carries himself to the ring with the belt. It's almost like he thinks he might not be holding that title very long.
Yeah,
and Jinder Mahal, sometimes you can kind of tell if you just kind of watch the facial expressions and the body language of some of the people who are going to challenge for a title before long.
Yeah.
Sometimes they kind of almost give it away in their expressions that they're not going to win the championship. They're just in the feud and they're not going to win it. Jinder's looking kind of confident, like legitimately looking kind of confident nowadays.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling kind of better that he might just take this title from Randy Orton at Backlash. But that remains to be seen. So anyway, Jinder comes out. He's talking his trash, showing the pictures with him with the title. He's then interrupted by... Does Kevin Owens come out next?
Yeah, it's KO.
Yeah, so Kevin Owens comes out, says no one cares about the House of Horrors. No one cares about India. Which, they're in London, and the London crowd starts kind of popping. He's like, oh, no, don't misunderstand. No one cares about England either.
Yeah.
He's so good at, just playing the crowd. He does heel. I can't imagine Kevin Owens as a face, because he does heel way too well.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
but now he's just like, just saying pretty much, the only thing people should care about is America.
The face of America.
Face of America.
He ended Jericho's career.
No more Y2J.
No more Y2J, which we know that he's off doing Fozzy. By the way, I've said before I'm not a huge Fozzy fan.
You listen to Judas yet?
Judas is good.
Judas is a good song.
Judas is actually probably the best Fozzy song I've ever heard.
It's a good song.
Have you heard any of their stuff besides Judas?
No, Judas is the only thing I heard. And I
feel like if you go back and listen to their stuff before Judas, you'll see what I meant by it's not bad, but it's not quite there for me. But Judas is actually a pretty good song. Yeah. And one of the things I've been critical about the most in the past is Jericho's voice. His voice is good in Judas. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of his songs before, it seems like he's trying too hard, But this song, I actually approved of. I was surprised about how much I liked this.
Yeah, that's why I was telling you the other day when I only heard that like snippet of it. I was like, dude, it sounded good. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
with his voice.
it's actually a good song.
Yeah.
So kudos to Fozzy for putting out and from what I understand, a lot of people like this new song. So good for them. It's a good push right before they go on tour. Moving back to wrestling.
Yeah.
So Owens is out there talking his junk. Go ahead.
I was going to say, after Owens comes out and starts talking his junk, AJ comes out. AJ Styles,
your number one contender for the U.S. title,
phenomenal one, yes. And he's just like, here we go again, and then pretty good pop. He gets a pretty good pop from London.
Of course, he's AJ Styles.
I don't know.
He got pops while he was heel.
Yeah,
he's just one of those that you can turn heel, but the crowd's gonna love him regardless.
Exactly, but he just reminds Owens that he's the one that built the house or whatever. I've killed that.
SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built.
I mean, I was
got the
correct.
point across. You got the gist of it. Yes.
But so he's out there talking that good stuff. Then all of a sudden, here comes Baron Corbin.
Tries to interrupt.
He doesn't get a chance when all of a sudden
halfway down the ramp,
Sami Zayn comes out and starts attacking him.
Which leads into just a whole huge brawl.
Huge brawl.
Everybody.
Everyone starts fighting. It's
basically it ends with
everyone trying to do. They have that one of those moments where everyone tries to like hit their like big move,
right?
But it keeps getting interrupted by someone else or whatever, or they might actually start hitting them or whatever. But all in all, it ends with Orton standing tall.
Yeah, and of course it leads into a 6-man tag team match for our main event later in the night.
Yeah.
So then we move on. Coming up next is Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Let's see here. I saw part of this match, but I didn't actually see the before and after so much. Oh no, I didn't see. Yeah, okay. So I don't know what happened before the match necessarily, other than Charlotte saying that she didn't introduction. I saw that, but yeah, this match ended kind of weak because it had Becky Lynch up on the turnbuckle and there was a little bit of a distraction because Naomi tries to attack, I think, Carmella, and Charlotte's holding her back, and Becky Lynch is focused on all that while she's up on the turnbuckle. Natalya hits her with just a shot off the corner. I don't even know what she used. It wasn't like a finisher or nothing. She just
hits her off the corner.
Yeah, just slams her off the corner and picks up a 3 count. It was kind of weak.
Yeah.
I give that thumbs down for that whole segment there. Lana's still coming to SmackDown. That's great.
Oh, that's good.
Got a little promotional promo there. Backstage segment where Charlotte's into it with Naomi, saying that Naomi's the reason why Becky Lynch lost because of all this. They're kind of having a little bit back and forth. Becky kind of gets in between them and says, no, we lost because we don't have unity. The team we fought has unity. That's why we lost. We need to get on the same page. I'm still not convinced that Becky Lynch is going to stay face throughout all this. I'll be honest. It seems like she could turn at any given at some point.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either, and that would definitely be a cool thing for creative to do.
Yeah, pretty big deal.
During the night, we're actually having some backstage, some segments with Breezango doing the fashion files. Chet Chetterman is dressed up as basically Sherlock Holmes, and the bankers dressed up as what do you call like the London like a bobby or something like
the bobbies?
Yeah,
that was awful.
I don't know. Anyway, so they're dressed up and they're solving crimes or whatever, and I think they're searching for the Usos actually, and they stumble upon this locked room and they hear like all these just grunts and screams coming from the inside, and for some reason they think there's a girl inside. So they're just like, they're beating on the door and they're like, you let her go, and they try to kick the door down and it doesn't open, and then Tyler Breeze just opens the door and they look inside and they see Ascension, and they're just like sitting there like smacking each other with a chain or something, and they just kind of slowly turn around and look at him, and Breezango closes the door, and Fandango looks at Tyler Breeze and says, forget the Usos. It looks like the Ascension case is back open, and Tyler Breeze goes, I'm getting too old for the shirt. Because he's all dressed up like a London. It was actually pretty good stuff. They're doing a good job of making me a fan of Breezango. Yeah. Before they were really irrelevant, but they're doing a good job of making me a fan. So that then leads into Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan, 2 members formerly of the Wyatt family. And Eric gets a win.
Yeah, but like...
And a cheap shot, because at one point he's trying to hit... He acts like he's fixing to hit Luke Harper with his mask. Like, who the fuck cares in the first place? What's that going to do? If you get hit with a mask, what's that going to do? Luke Harper's going to brush that off and whip his ass. But no, so he teases hitting him with a mask. The ref sees him, says, give me that. And when he goes to put the mask up, Eric Rowan hits Harper, pokes him in the eye, with thumb in the eye, and then hits him with his swing-around slam.
Sling-around slam.
Spin-a-rooney slam-a-bam. I think it's the official name of it. And picks up the win.
Who cares?
That's weird.
Who cares?
So much for Luke Harper getting. He had a little bit of a push.
He's gonna get that push. He's gonna eventually get that push where he'll hold every belt in the company.
Oh, this is like WWE 13 with Sheamus.
Yeah, but it's gonna be Luke Harper.
Luke Harper. But, I love it. Perfect.
But until then, we have Dolph Ziggler confronting Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, this is news. I didn't realize they were in a feud together.
Yeah, it's news to me. Yeah.
This was actually a stronger segment than what they've had up to this point.
Yeah, I like pretty much the basis around this right now because it was last week that Ziggler was giving Nakamura crap for not fighting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying last week, he's like, you're not fighting anybody. We're building an entire pay-per-view pretty much around of someone who hasn't even fought a match yet.
Yeah.
And then this week, you have him, talking his good stuff again, and Nakamura's finally like, hey, let's fight. And like Nakamura's down to throw down. Like he's down to clown,
Yeah.
And Ziggler's like, nah, and leaves.
Well,
so like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I do like that it was a much more serious Ziggler this time around instead of like the horrible joke-telling Ziggler from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because that was cringeworthy. This was like actually a serious Ziggler. And Nakamura's like, let's do this, let's fight right now. And Ziggler's like, nah, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it on my terms. We're going to do it how I say. Although there was a little bit of a scuffle because Ziggler threw his shirt and... Was that this week?
I think so. What are you saying? Like he...
Well, I thought there was a little bit of a scuffle between two of them because, because Ziggler threw his jacket at Nakamura and attacks him with elbows. And then they get into a little bit of a just back and forth before Ziggler just rolls out of the ring and... Yeah, so... And then it basically does, this is not going to happen right now. This will happen later. But yeah, this was a stronger segment overall than what they've had. And I mean, I'm still really excited for this match. And you know what I think? When they finally have this match at Backlash, because it's had such a huge debut, give them 30 minutes and let them steal the show.
Yeah.
Let them just fucking... Obviously, I want them to have like a New Japan caliber match, just false finishes everywhere.
Lots of like suicide dives and crazy shit out of the ring. And
yeah,
stuff,
well, they don't necessarily have to do all that, but it can still be...
No, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, WWE's not going to let them have a New Japan style match, but still, give them like a 30-minute match. Let them just steal the show.
If one of them doesn't have a subdural hematoma or whatever after the match is over, I'm going to be upset.
That does not need to happen to either one of them. Wow. Wow, Ian. Wow.
Put it all in the ring, man. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Put it all in the ring. Leave nothing to speculation.
Wow. So anyway, next we have the Ascension versus Breezango. Nice to see the Ascension back on TV. They get beat. Breezango wins. Which the Usos come out. This was a bit of a cringeworthy segment. Did you see this promo when it came?
I didn't see this.
All right, so the Usos come out with their microphones and they're talking to the Breezango while Breezango's in the ring and and Usos are on the stage. And I don't really know what they're alluding to because they were just like, you got each other's backs, and you guys can tat each other's backs, you can kiss each other's backs, and rub each other's backs, lick each other's backs, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys like implying? Like where is this going? Because this is rough, and that was like basically their trash talking, and they just talking about how they're gonna meet in 12 days at Backlash, and very just.
Lick each other's backs.
I don't know. Very cringeworthy segment there from the Usos. But yeah, I'm totally team Breezango right now.
I am too.
I'm
sick of the Usos anyway. So
yeah. Backstage segment with Mojo Rawley giving the kids a backstage tour. I didn't actually see this. I just kind of heard about it. About how he showed them the. He's telling about Andre the Giant and how he used this child, some story about a child who got made fun of as a kid, and used it as motivation to
become a legend.
Andre did, yeah. So, and then he shows him the trophy that he got from winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. I think the kid kicks him, and it looks like Mojo just tear into the kid, just hit him with the elbow.
Would you not pop if Mojo Rawley picked up that kid and just hit him with a power ball?
Yeah, I'd pop pretty hard, but he didn't. He just ignored it and said it's okay. So, anyway, we get another video from Rusev who talks about how he said he wasn't going to come to SmackDown until he got his championship match at Money in the Bank, but he hasn't heard anything from Shane or Daniel yet. So he's going to get an answer when he's on SmackDown Live next week. He'll be on SmackDown Live next week to get answers. Again, this was like an iPhone filmed video that he looked like he was like in a gym or something.
FaceTiming.
Yeah, just FaceTiming SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
So anyway, that then sets up our main event of Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, and Jinder Mahal. This is a pretty entertaining match on all. A lot of in and outs for everybody. Everybody got a fair shot at this match. A lot of finishers, but it ended with I remember Randy Orton hitting Owens with the RKO, and then Mahal, who was the legal man at the time, comes in and connects with his Cobra Clutch Slam and picks up the pinfall over Orton. So he gets the 1-2-3 over Orton.
Pretty decently clean.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Singh brothers did interfere here and there, but nothing just too drastic rather. And Jinder looking strong right now. Now, a lot of times in the past when stuff like this happens, it's because they're going to lose at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But we got one more show between now and the pay-per-view, so we don't know how that's going to end. But Jinder looking like $1 million right now.
Yeah, honestly, it's so weird. Like, if you had told me a month ago we'd be here right now, I would be like, shut the front door.
A month ago when we found out about this.
But still, even when we found out about it a month ago, I still wouldn't have expected it to be going this far.
Let's take it back a little bit. During his first run with the WWE, when he was a lot smaller than what he is now, if he came out on TV and when he was with 3MB, and we said, that motherfucker's going to be number one contender soon, like one day, I would be like, Randy you are smoking some serious something right now. So I never in a million years would I have thought Jinder Mahal would have been the number one contender for the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. And like I said, right now I'm feeling a lot better, but I feel like he has a decent chance at winning this championship.
He's going to, and then Mojo's going to get it from me.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. But
it's how it's going to play out.
Interesting. It could be spoilers, but I know, talking about future feuds, I know that someone had pointed out that there's a house, one of the house cards for the summer has Shinsuke versus Kevin Owens. So maybe Shinsuke's going to get a U.S. title shot after this feud with Ziggler.
That's if AJ doesn't get it from him, but
I don't know. Well, we'll see. Either way, him versus Kevin Owens would be fun.
Yeah.
Be fun to watch. So interesting stuff coming out there. But that is your Monday Night Raw and SmackDown for the week. I
personally think AJ gets the title from.
You think so?
Owens. I feel like
I don't know. They're pushing this Face of America thing so hard.
I agree, but like Owens, like Owens has had his spot in the spotlight for the past year now. He's him and Jericho. He had the title, and then immediately after losing the title, picked up the U.S. title. You know what I'm saying? He's been involved in the title picture one way or the other for
but his Universal title run wasn't that.
It was garbage.
It wasn't.
But he had it.
The stuff he did with Jericho was great, but as far as him being Universal Champion, it wasn't that great. But yeah, you're right. He was in the spotlight for the better part of a year now. So we'll have to wait and see. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how some of these matches are going to play out. But yeah, that's your WWE for the week. So that's going to pretty much just go ahead and wrap us up for this time. Ian, again, good having you back.
Good being back.
Good, yes. Good having you back. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're not watching us on YouTube, go check us out on YouTube.
What are you doing?
Go like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to us via MP3, thank you so much for downloading. Please be sure to keep up with us via Twitter at n.W.bro podcast. On Instagram, which I have started but not actually done anything with, but give me time. But we're also on Instagram at n.w.bro podcast. Send us questions at n.w.bro podcast. Say it with me, Ian. n.w.bro podcast at gmail.com. Like we said before, if we get some questions in, we would gladly answer them on the air. We'll gladly answer them on our show. start doing a little Q&A. We'll answer. Just send us whatever, man. It's not, no restraints. Uncut, unfiltered. If it's not wrestling related, we might not answer it, though.
Yeah.
So,
I might. I don't know.
It just kind of depends. If it's
Depends
like
on the question.
Yeah, it depends on the question.
If you're asking me, like, what my, like, morning regimen is, I might tell you, but, like...
It's usually, well, for you, it's usually sleeping because you just got off work.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Sure.
And mine's usually getting up and going to work.
It's a tough
So
life.
there we go. There's one question answered.
Boom.
So
Now you don't have to ask that question.
Send us some more.
Yeah.
But no, we'll be back next week, guys, for some more WWE talk, as well as anything else that might be going on at the time. Ian, any closing comments before we get off the air?
No, I don't think so. I think just everybody have a great week until next time.
Yeah, and have a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming up this weekend.
That is. So, yeah. Thanks for the reminder.
Yep. So until next time, we'll see y'all later.
Adios.